Hey, welcome to the Take Two Crew podcast. I am your co-host, Scoop.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mike. Happy New Year. Let's go.
We are back, man. 2023, we here, big dog. We are here, man.
It's been a long time since we did this, though, man.
Yeah, man. It's almost like we took a hiatus.
Yeah.
For almost the entire year, man.
Yeah, it was definitely a long time, but
so sorry to our faithful listeners and viewers who've been asking where we've been at. We've been having life, you know.
Yes.
And we talk almost every day, but we just haven't had a chance to like actually record. And then every time it was time to record, something always happened. But we're here, you know. 2023, we starting this year off right.
That's right. January 1st. Man, I am great, man. I am great. We made it through the new year safe and sound, man. It's, you know, I'm great, bro. Like it's been a long time coming, but you know, we here now, so it's good.
Absolutely, man. I feel good. I'm excited for what's going to happen this year, just in life in general, just staying positive, being consistent, moving forward. I'm really excited, man. Really excited for this year.
Me too, man. You know what's funny? You know how in 2000, the year 2000, everybody thought the world was going to come to an end, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y2K,
crazy.
Right?
I was just thinking about it. Like, they're like, oh, the world coming to an end. Everybody going to die. 23 years later, man. That's unheard of. I was 12 years old, I think. No, dang, I'm bugging. I was something. I'm bugging. I was not 12. Maybe, I don't know.
13?
Was I? Yeah. 12, 13, somewhere around there.
Yeah, 13. I'm like, we're the same age.
Yeah, my math was, it sounded right in my head, but my math sounded real wrong when it came out of my mouth. So,
no, it do sound crazy when you say, it do sound crazy when you say the year 2000, you were 13 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
Yes. That sound hella crazy. Because 9/11 happened, but the next year, Jesus, man, it's been a long time, bro.
I remember exactly where I was when that happened too.
I was in Miss Smith class, putting too much salt in the cookies. Because y'all was in the 8th grade. I got left back. I was in the 7th grade.
Yeah, I was in self-contained that year, man. It was crazy. My first year ever experiencing self-contained, watching everybody change class, and then she like, come right back. I was like, what? Looked at my schedule, same teacher. I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Who's your teacher?
Miss Calabrese.
Wow, I haven't heard that name in a long time. Calabrese.
Yeah, that was my teacher for one market period. I had to get out of there.
She's like, man, eat lunch here. Come on, grab your lunch. Come on back. It's crazy.
We only left for math only. That was it.
See, when I tell people that Mike used to be like the devil, they be like, nah, not Michael. Like, listen.
It wasn't the devil, man.
Listen, I ain't do self-contained. I took the old way. You know, I just got left back. So, you know. But I got
you graduated on time though, so it was cool, man.
Yeah, I didn't get to graduate with y'all 8th grade. They put me like I remember. You remember Mr. I think his name was not O'Larry. The dude looked like he looked like Hulk Hogan, Mr. Hagen or something like that from the middle school, tall guy. My man, like I was not going to gym. My man gave me an F. Miss Quinlan talked to him, came back. I had a B. He was like, all right, you can go. Going to the high school. I was like, I haven't been in his class one day. And legit, he went from F to a B. Like, you know what, man? They really wanted to get rid of me, but I graduated on time.
Yeah, I'm not even going to ask how that happened, but
yeah, they had a program. It was like what's crazy is it was like 7 of us who all got left back. And they were trying to get us to graduate with you guys. It was some program they set up, and Miss Quinlan, God rest her soul. It was me. It was a couple cats too. I just can't think of their names, but we all got left back, and then they said if we passed the first market period, we can go to the high school because we didn't do the 8th grade work. We did whatever you guys did in the high school, they had us doing in the middle school. So when we got our grades, if our grades were good enough, we could excel. So the only person class I didn't pass was the gym. So he gave me an F like that morning, about like 11 o'clock, right before 12. I had a B, and I was in the van on my way to the high school. They got us they got us up out of there quick. Like, because if not, I would have graduated 07 instead of 06, like I was supposed to anyway.
Okay, cool. All
man.
right. Hey, you
So
made
what's
it.
been
That's all
going
that
on with you,
matters,
bro?
man.
What's been going on with you, man? Let's talk about your wrap up. How was your 2022?
My 2022, it was challenging. Let me tell you that. My faith was tested in ways I never imagined it would be tested. My my love levels were tested countless times throughout the year, man. But it all worked out in the end. Let me tell you that. It all worked out in the end. And I think that was the best part. You know, it was tough. You know, I had a little experience where, in my relationship where it didn't look too good, man. I'm gonna tell you that off the bat. A lot of things happened that, like I said, challenged me in ways that matured me, I'm gonna say as well. You know, sometimes as men, we don't know how to handle love while we're going through something. You know, it's hard to express love when you see struggle. And I wouldn't deem 2022 as the worst year of my life, but it's definitely top 3. You know what I'm saying?
Top 3.
It's definitely top 3. And I'm only saying that because, I was doing things I wasn't proud of. I let things go on too long, relationship wise with certain people. But like I said, I learned, I grew, especially in my relationships. We were able to get past whatever our situation was, and I think it worked out best in the end for the both of us. Like I said, it's real hard to accept failure as a man when it comes to a relationship, knowing that it could have gone either way. And I think that's what propelled me to share with other men by saying it's okay to not be okay. I made a couple of videos towards the end of the year, which gained a lot of attraction. Thank you very much. 4.8 views, man. I was happy to hear that.
Wait. 4.8 thousand. That's not 4.5. That's not 4 people, and then one person watched 8 from the video. No, it's 4.8 thousand people.
8,000 people. It just something I just happened to do because it's how I felt. You know what I mean? As a man, we don't have that outlet. And if we do, we don't take advantage of it. We try to become our own doctor, try to become our own therapist, but I'm grateful that, I have relationships with people like you that when I'm going through it, I'm calling. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful that you answer when I do call because it's not, it wasn't a text message like, yo, you good? Nah, you answered every time I call. And I'm forever grateful for that. You know what I mean? Especially the way my the middle of the year went where I was bugging. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's uncommon for me to do these things, but like I said, my relationship was tested in ways where I didn't see no other way out besides ending it, to say the truth. But, through some much needed guidance, some much needed real life sessions, you know what I mean? We were able to get through that situation. I hope no one has to experience, that situation at all, where you get to the point where your struggle is more important than your love for your woman. You know what I'm saying? And as a man, we don't look at it like that. As a man, we sit here and we go, this is what's important. I'll take care of everything else later. Later isn't always there. Later isn't always an option. It's like going to jail and asking your girl to wait for you. When you got to do a 10-year bid. It's not happening. Shout out, she do it great, but I would never ask my woman to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go to jail or anything, but, it just happened. That's the way it looked like, you know what I'm saying, as far as the struggle versus my love, But like I said, we made it out, and we're going to keep building from there, doing our thing and having a good time, man. We're going to enjoy this ride, man.
I think you hit on some really good points, especially the accountability, because even I feel like with us, our friendship got tested because, you know, we had conversations that were new for us. You know, it was a new, like, as we're getting older, and I'm realizing it now, is that, well, I realized it a long time ago, but bro, we're not 15. Like 15, we can argue. All right, man, I'm gonna catch you on a walk on Comstock. We walk back up. Either we walking home or we walking back. And it's like as you're older now and you just have more responsibility, you know, you tend to not see things the same way. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that you have your way of viewing things. I got my way of viewing things, and there's nothing wrong with that. So it was a test, but it's like what's that movie with Spike Lee? Do the Right Thing. When he's like, love is fighting and hate is here. That's what it ultimately felt like, and just love wins, man. Love ultimately wins.
Yeah, that's actually my motto for the year, man. Let love win, man. Like, that's it. So, but yeah, 2022, man. Like, you know, say you heard about mine, man. What was yours about? Like, what did you learn?
Wow. So someone's texting me. Okay, so 2022 ultimately kind of wrapped up for me. It really wrapped up for me 12 o'clock yesterday, because I had my highs and lows for the year. You know, it came some promotions, and then it came some demotions. You know, I thought I was on cloud nine, and what it really was is that I wasn't as secure in my faith as I thought I was. And what I realized was that I was spending majority of the time. I was spending majority of my time trying to. I was spending majority of my time trying to, on the surface, look like everything is cool, but I was struggling on the inside. It affected my relationship with my children, relationship with my family. Like, you know, y'all my family, and then it affected my relationship with my wife. The beginning of the year, man, we were doing so much, and I let my job consume me. And
that's big.
What happened was I stopped podcasting. And some relationships I really put to the back burner. So, like, you know, I really believe that it's okay to say new year, new me, because there are some things that you are not trying to take into that was in 2022 that you don't want to bring into this year. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's a new you. It's a new mindset. It is a new year. So it's a new year, new you. It's really that's not the problem. But what I realized was that podcasting wasn't hard. Being consistent was the problem. And if I was consistently committed to what I had to do, then, you know, I would have been straight. So I had a conversation with my wife a couple of days ago that I told you about, and one of the things that she said to me was, "Yo, get back stronger in your faith and bet on you." I opened up the Bible app, man. First scripture that came up, 2 Corinthians 5:7. You are a new person in Christ. Everything that's old is gone. You know, behold the new things, right? And I was like, we talked about this. This ties into our podcast today because our title was expiration dates. How many times have we had things that we just allowed to expire, right? So it could be, I know friendships that I had that expired, and I just kept holding on to it. And because I allowed myself to hold on to those relationships, it affected me in many ways. And it wasn't nothing to where it's like it was detrimental to my life, but it was detrimental to my life, man. It kind of held me back a little bit because I'm sitting here trying to hold on to people who are like, let me go. Like why are you concerning yourself with things that no longer matter? And it messed me up, man. It messed me up a lot. But then what I realized was that, and I said this to you, I said this to my wife, and I said this to Freddie, like, yo, I should have made some of these moves 6 months ago. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna let it get better. And I see it. I see nothing happening. There's no progression. And I sat there and I held on to things too long, man. And it just, right now, I'm in a time in my life where I feel like I don't have time to waste. Like, I'm so serious and focused about betting on myself that is starting to excite and scare me at the same time. So I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for that. So that's what I'm going into, and that's been pretty much my 2022. Just if it's expired, letting it go. I can't move forward and allow anyone to hold me back or to let my past dictate my future. I am better than what you may see on paper or what you've heard about me. Just have a conversation and be willing to open yourself up to that opportunity, and we go from there.
Absolutely. You said something important. You said you talked about holding on to things too long. And I think a lot of us do that to the point where we blame the other person. You know what I'm saying? We blame the other person for not reaching out anymore. We blame the other person for not coming around or things of that nature. And it's not always the case. It's just we get to the point where we've been calling someone a friend for so long that our expectations on that person hasn't changed as we got older.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? We get to that point where we like, they're always going to be there. And we want them to be. Like, truthfully, we want them to be there, but that's not always the case, you know. And I put myself in that same category as well. I became a bus driver, let's say that, you know, where you riding with me until it's your stop. When that's it, you know, I love for you to, you know, ride this thing with me to the end, but it's not realistic. You know,
that's
what
good.
I want, what you want, don't always be the same thing.
That's good.
You know, and that's okay. It's okay. And the thing about expiration is just because it's expired, you know, it doesn't taste the same, you know, it don't look the same. All these things changes when something expires. You know, you look at bread, it goes past it, it gets molded. You can cut off the bread, you can cut off the piece that's molded. I'm sure we did that in the past. But even then, you're like, yo, that piece was molded though. Like, and I think this is what we do with people ourselves. Like, we go, all right, well, you know, he ain't talking to me this week, or they ain't talking to me this month, you know. And we say in our heads, you know what, I'm just good, I'm done, you know. But realistically, they call one time and they write back in our good graces. Nah, that doesn't mean nothing. We don't do that.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? That's not what we can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just don't. Cool. You want to be a friend? Great. However, as a friend, this is what I'm expecting you to do. And if you don't do it, it's okay. It's okay. Back in the day, you used to always say the word the holy of holies. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm looking for. Like, people that's going to enter that second circle on the target sign. You know what I mean? That's it. I don't need a lot of people. I need effective people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to hold me accountable for what I'm saying I'm trying to do and making sure I'm doing it. Not be like, oh, yeah, I fell off the wagon too, man. You know, no, cool, great. All right, how we getting back to this thing? You know, how we getting back? You know, when you were talking and you said that we hit a rocky point in our relationship. You know what I'm saying? In our brotherhood, it took a hit. And the way we've seen things wasn't the same way. You know, I can honestly say, since I've met you, we've never come to blows. The only person I've ever known for 20 plus years that I never got into a fight with. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something there. That's something important that people have to understand. Over 20 years, times we wanted to fight. We discussed that, but we just never did. We never got to that point where we like, yo, see me outside on the street. I don't know if it was because of our mentalities or just whatever. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of things have happened over the year. And that point, I think it was a couple months we went without talking. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But even in the midst of us not talking, I still followed what you were doing on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I still kept myself in the loop of what was going on with you, even in the midst of us not speaking. So even when we did talk again, like, we picked up like it never fell off.
We needed a mental break.
Yes,
because
that's the perfect way to say it.
I had to look at what was important for me. So when we wasn't talking to each other, like I was watching the things that you were doing, but also I looked and said, okay, what value? I want to make sure that I'm bringing value to any situation that I'm in. And there's sometimes when you may need me to be a positive ear, and it's like I don't have nothing positive to say. I can admit that. And then there was also times when I wasn't the best friend you needed for me to be in certain situations. And that's a tough pill to swallow when you always look and go, you know what? I did this is what I can do better. This is what the next person can do better. And I'm mad because they did this to me and I did that to them. But you're not looking at it and saying, okay, what was let me analyze Tyreek and say, okay, Tyreek, you were trash right here. Here's how you could have fixed it. All right. You should have let this thing go. And this is what you should have said better. And then sometimes, thank God that, we have the ability to get back on the phone and have a conversation. Because whatever we were going through, nothing was more important than brotherhood and friendship and love, right? And
absolutely,
I sat back and looked and like, yo, man, I could have been a better friend at the time when we weren't talking. It's because I felt like, yo, I can say whatever I want to say about Mike. You can't. Same way about all my other siblings. Yo. I will tell you, but yo, man, Lynette is annoying. But if you start talking, if you be like, yeah, man, I can't believe she did this, I'm like, hey, you need to watch your mouth. All right.
Yeah.
This is not an open conversation. All right. I'm just
expressing
how I feel. And that's a period. There's no comma. There's no space for you to leave what you want to say. Like you need to relax. And I realized that, like, man, like, yo, like with a lot of my friendships that I deem were friends was not. They were brothers. We when you look at a brother, you don't got to talk to me every single day. But when I talk to you, I pick up right where I left off.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's also nothing wrong with saying, hey, listen, I apologize. I was wrong for how I was moving. And, I could have been a better person, but life just happens, man. But I want to talk about, you talked about expiration. And we're going to hop into this expiration. You hit on something hard, but our time about to expire. So we're about to hop off and hop back on. All right. We'll be back. All right, you guys. So we were talking about expiration dates, right? And then Mike was talking about bread. So 2 expiration things I wanted to talk about was milk and water. And I told Mike while we were on our little break, like, I knew what I was going to talk about, but I wanted to leave something just in case he brought it up. And legit, it was bread. So Mike legit was on point, right? So check this out. When milk is expired, not only do you get a bad taste if you drink it, but you also risk the chance of potential side effects like diarrhea, stomach pains, or vomiting. What's tricky to the untrained eye is refrigerated milk looks fine, right? You can't tell what's going on inside the inside until you open it, right?
Yeah.
That is legit our life. We walk around smiling from the outside, and meanwhile on the inside, we got things going on. So my example was DJ Twitch. You see him on the Ellen show. He was always dancing around, and I'm not making light of anything that happened to him, because he took his own life. However, everyone said the same thing, that this guy was as full of life. Every time he's seen him, he was always nice to you, gave you always showed you love, never was like too Hollywood. And then just suddenly, his wife has to call the police because she's like, yo, I think my husband's gonna do something to himself because he was fighting demons. And what happens is milk is like your mental stability. On the outside, I'm smiling, I'm helping everybody, You know, I'm giving, and in return, I'm dealing with some things that's going on in my life. And now it's like, as you're going into 2023, seek that help that you need. Be willing to open up. There's somebody who's could have possibly been through some things that you've been through, and they can give you insight to make you better. So why not reach out to them people and actually have them help you out, make you a better person, right? And the next thing I had was water. Now, water doesn't expire, like bottled water doesn't expire, the outside does. So if so while the water is good inside, if the bottled water is not in a cool place, if it's out and exposed to water, it can grow mold inside. The toxins that's holding that water together on the inside can seep through that plastic if it's expired and not in the right position. That's our lives, man. How many times in life do we know that what we got on the inside is good, but we're letting our outside surroundings dictate how we move. We can't allow that to happen. Put yourself in an area where it's a cool climate, where you're protected, and even when it says you're past your date, you can still have the same effect on people in life.
Yeah.
That was my two things, man. Milk and water. They both expire, but they expire in different things and in different ways. And then it also has different effects. And then you can apply that to your life. Yo, if you got something on the inside that don't seem right, let somebody know. Seek help. There's nothing wrong with going to go see a psychiatrist. There's nothing wrong with talking to a therapist. If you got an accountability partner who don't understand what you're going through, seek other help. Don't If you can prevent it, do not put your life in your hands and you do something that's going to not just affect, it no longer affects you, you're gone, right? But Twitch got a wife, he got kids, he got friends who are left confused and devastated. And last, I want to talk about a friend of mine. Her name is Kristen. I called Mike yesterday when it happened. I'm mentally, man, I'm aggravated yesterday. And I'm talking to Mike, and legit, I get a group chat about Kristen. Kristen is I know she's under 40, but she's super young. She's a ball of fun. She's the life of the party, always got a smile on her face. She's the type of person that you could tell a dad joke to, and she'll believe it. Because at some point, sometimes Kristen is gullible, right? But she's a nice, sweet human being. I got some news yesterday that it's okay for me to share because they made a GoFundMe. So, I'm not sharing nothing that's personal. This is something that her family has already talked about. October, Kristen was having headaches. She went to the doctor to go see what was wrong and found out that she had glioma, if I'm saying it correctly. And ultimately, she ended up going blind. Living in her apartment, her mother moved in with her, and they're both trying to adjust. She lived her whole life seeing, and within a couple of days, she's blind, right? There's no signs. She has a perfect bill of health. She goes blind. She has a couple falls, and she ends up going into the hospital. They took her back out. She's waiting for her disability to kick in from the job. It's taking longer than expected. So they were getting ready to put her on chemotherapy. Her chemotherapy is supposed to start January 6th. As of the 29th, she's in hospice care right now. They're making her comfortable.
Man.
It broke me, man. Like, I called my boy Tito, and I'm like, yo, there's no way this is real. This is really happening. He's like, yo, man, when I got the news, I should have shared it with you guys earlier, but it just threw me for a loop. And I was like, dang, man, everything can seem like it's going wrong in your life. And you hear some news about somebody else that'll change your perspective on how you're moving in life. And what it made me realize was that, listen, what I was going through was nothing. This girl is legit. She's not even fighting for her life. They're making her comfortable. You got to be at a different stage of your life to where it's like there's no more fight that you can physically give. All we can do now is make you comfortable to get ready for the next the next stage of what the end result is going to be, you know, because I don't know what her faith is. For me to be meeting God, y'all know it's you is meeting God, but I don't know what that mindset is, but I know what it is to have a family member on hospice and you're playing the waiting game. You know, we played the waiting game with my grandmother, and it was sad. It was sad with my wife's father. With my mother, she just instantly died. They tried to fight, but it was nothing that they can ultimately do. You know, the inevitable happened. But it just made me put a lot of things into perspective for life, man. I'm not going into 2023 stressed about nothing. All right,
Amen.
like it ain't worth it. If there's relationships that I can fix, I'm gonna go ahead and fix them. If I owe you an apology, I'm big enough to say, hey, I apologize. And maybe our relationship won't be in the same capacity that it was a few years ago, but that don't mean that we can't start over. I can get to know you, you can get to know me. A lot has changed in my 35 years of living. I'm not the same person that I used to be. I don't even really go by Scoop no more. I'm Tyreek Hampton. That's who I am. Or I go by Ty. I rarely go by Scoop. I'm just different. And I'm changing because I want to be a better me. Not just for the sake of just putting it on Instagram or Facebook or any other social media platform. I just want to be better me, man. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better lover. I want to be a better lover of people, better lover to my children, a better lover over the people who mean the most to me, my circle. And what I realized you was talking about the bus was that everybody comes in your life for a season. And the bus is meant to get you from one destination to another. That's it. Right? But one thing we don't talk about is eventually you got to park that bus.
Yeah.
Because the bus can just be an occupation that you are holding right now. And you change buses. You went from doing one thing in the hospital to another. 20 years ago, you was talking about working on computers. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to teach music. And guess what? I don't even like people's kids right now. I like my nieces and my nephews and my kids and some cousins. But I'm not really a fan of like a lot of children no more because I've been out of that environment for a long time. I haven't done youth ministry in a long time. So of course I could snap back, but it's like, man, we had plans on what we were going to do with our lives. And when you look back on it, neither one of us are doing exactly what we talked about. But it's good though, man. I'm happy.
Yeah. You know what's funny? You said you touched up on how things expire, and you talked about people being a reason in a season. What we fail to realize is we keep people around out of habit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We keep people around because it's fitting for us. Even if they let us go, we still reach out to them. And we go, oh, hey, how you doing? I haven't heard from you in a while. They're like, oh, I ain't doing nothing. It just, like you said, it doesn't mean that we're no longer cool. It's just the dynamics of our relationship have changed.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? Myself, I don't introduce myself anymore as Mike. I say Michael Drake, and then, at work, I go by Drake for different reasons. There's too many mics at work, so if you say Drake, I know you're specifically talking to me. But what you realize is even when you ever go somewhere for a long period of time, you come back and that same people are calling you the old you, but when you correct them, you acting funny.
Yeah, you not.
And that's because, like you said, there has been it's been a different outlook on life for me now. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I've never been a street person. I've never been anybody known for anything negative or anything else for that nature. And even then, I don't go by that name anymore. I don't go by Mike no more. Don't call me Mikey unless you family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't want you to call me that. It's because I no longer look at myself as that little boy anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in that. I'm not in that mindset anymore. I want to make things happen now. You know, and we have to understand that it's okay to change. It's okay. Change is really hard, but change happens all around us.
Yep.
You know, like recently, they just shut down Red Lobster.
On 35?
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I'm like, whoa, Red Lobster has been here for years.
Imagine how Beyonce feel about that.
You know, it's been here for years. Like, I can remember, you know, going on dates to Red Lobster and things like that. I mean, it's like, wow. So change is going to happen regardless. You just have to adjust.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to piggyback off of one more thing you said about your mental health. Like, I didn't look at the importance of mental health until I started working in a hospital. And I'm saying that because watching people either fight for their life, watching people just get bad news or whatever, it affects you in ways you don't think about. You know, like, you know, God rest Twitch's soul and things of that nature, you know, prayers for his family. We don't think of those kind of things when we look at people on TV.
Sure don't.
You know, but this is what we do every day. We do that every single day. We go from arguing with our spouse and then driving to work. So we got to go like this. We literally got to go, whoop. Let me take off my argument face and put on this facade that nothing's wrong because I don't want you to know my business.
Yeah. Oh man, come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, like.
And then
that's good.
If we immature, we get back in the car and we go, oh, now I got to go home and deal with this person. So now you putting that angry face right back on because now you don't want to be bothered when you go home. Even if you just had a whole ball at work, you had a great day at work. When you come back home, now you like, man, I got to go back home and I got to be mad. No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? We as not just men, not just as minorities, but as people in general, we control our emotions, and we have to realize that. We have to take control. For one, we got to understand what our emotions are. You know, that is, you know, love is an action.
Yeah.
But it's based off of the way you feel about that person.
At the time, sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we do. I love you until you make me mad.
Yep.
I love you until you no longer do what I asked you to do.
That untested love is tricky.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yes. And most of us never get to experience that unconditional love because everything that we've done in our life from people that love us always came within a condition. Like, just quick little story about me and my ex-wife. Whenever we wanted the other person to do something, we would go, well, if you love me, you would do it. You know what I'm saying? Not because we were like, you know, laughing or, you know, we wasn't like putting our love to the test. We would just say that just to get the other person to do it. And we were like, I love you, but I'm still not doing it. It didn't change the way we looked at each other, but that was the play that we used for that reason. You know what I'm saying? If you love me, you give me that $100 I'm asking for.
I ain't got nothing to do with love.
It don't. But that's, you know what I'm saying? But this is how we carry out our lives with certain people. When you stop producing for me, I stop loving you.
Mm.
And we can't do that. Because if I never do anything else for you, would you still love me? You know,
that's real, man. That's real.
And we don't realize that just how strong that love word is. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate, like I'm teaching myself and my kids both. We don't just say love you. You know what I'm saying? You got to put that I in there. You got to say I love you. I love
Whoa,
you.
whoa,
Yeah,
whoa, 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 whoa,
you
whoa,
feel
whoa,
me?
whoa. Wait a minute.
What?
You can legit be saying, yo, love you. I'm not saying I love you. I'm telling you to love you.
If you play it that way, okay.
Yo,
I,
that's crazy, man.
I
That's
personally,
crazy.
if anybody that I tell them I love, I put the I in the front of it.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
crazy, man. Wow.
That's
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? And it's because I feel like it's more personal.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? When I'm like, I love you. Yeah, I love you. That's cliche. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? You can say I love you to anybody, like literally. I don't even at work. Oh, Happy New Year, love you, love you too.
Yeah, love you
But
too.
when I throw that I in front of it, man, you need to know that I really love you. I genuinely love you beyond the thought process that you can imagine. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where we don't say that enough of. You know what I'm saying? I don't condone anything, you know what I'm saying, that was done to anybody who took their life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you were physically going through. And I would never, try to imagine that. This is why I going into 2023, I want to get on this call with other men.
Yeah. Father's
You know
Club.
what I'm saying? I want to get on the call with other men for them to realize that it's okay to not be okay, for one. And two, you ain't alone. You're not alone in whatever you're going through.
That's good,
There's
man.
certain things that you might not want to tell your wife, your girlfriend, your baby mother, your mom, whoever. And I want to provide that outlet for you to just speak your mind. Even if
Judgment
you
free.
don't have, yeah, even if you don't speak, but the fact that you on the call alone, you know what I'm saying? We need an outlet as men. I'm not a heavy drinker and I don't smoke. But if you want to meet up at the bar, we could do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that's good.
Yeah, and we have to understand that. It's like you said, it's a no judgment zone.
Yeah. No
And we
judgment,
don't
but
have to.
accountability. So
Yes.
we
Yes.
can there's nothing wrong with wait, real quick. Fathers Club is a group that Mike started. The basis of the group, because I don't want to miss this part, Mike. The basis of the group is just as an outlet for men to talk about things that can be going on. So it can be talking about your mental health. It can be ways to being a better father, a better boyfriend, a better husband, a better spouse. And so this is the opportunity for that. So what Mike does on Sundays, he hosts a group, 12 o'clock. And if you need him on any other time, he'll reach out to you as well. But it's an open environment for men to express how they feel. It's not recorded. It's just us saying, hey, listen, here's an outlet. There are men we have some young men on there, we have some older men on there, the older statesmen who've seen life. And sometimes the insight they can give you can make you a better person. So, we're all Mike program is definitely important. And in 2023, if you're looking for someone to hold you accountable and to not judge you, this is the group that you want to join. All right. It's not just based in New Jersey, because I'm in Florida, and we got Akeem's in Georgia. We need to talk about that. Akeem's in Georgia. We got Dave's in North Carolina. We got friends and family that's in Cali. Everyone's everywhere. We got family in Italy, right? And we got family in Japan. So what it does is it's just an opportunity for everyone to come together. It's not about age, it's not about race, but what it's about is about building strong men for what's going to happen in the next upcoming days and years. You you need someone you need an outlet. This is going to be the way to go. Father's Club has definitely helped me tremendously. And look at the videos that Mike was posting. I know earlier in the video, he was saying he almost hit 5,000 views, but the stuff he was talking about was good knowledge. And definitely he's on to something. And we had a club like this called Gentlemen of Distinction in high school. But this is just like, this is more than just that. It's more than passport to manhood, because we're here now. And that's what the Father Club is about. But go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the accolades, man. It's always good to hear somebody else talk about your stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
listen, relationships has always been your thing. And what I applaud you for is that most people, if something happens in their life, it'll ultimately change how they're moving. So you openly talk about the fact that you've been married and divorced, that you've been engaged and not engaged, you know, that the dynamic of your relationship with your ex-wife and your fiance and your children, like, it's not easy. So for you to get up day in and day out, post these videos, talk to men, get insight, and then be able to, and sometimes you're poured into, and you don't take it as, you know what, this is my group, I don't want to hear it. No, you are listening to the advice that comes to you, and you're applying it to your life. I think that's amazing. That's something that we shouldn't just look over, because we are a force to be reckoned with, you know, like 35, and you positive, and you like, listen, I'm about to take the world by storm, whether you like it or not. I think that's something that we should be celebrating now, not waiting until something happened to you, or we're waiting for another community to show what you're doing. No, let's big it up right now. Like, Father's Club definitely is it right now.
Yes, and you definitely gonna hear and see it. That's definitely the goal for 2023. You know, like you said, relationships is me. I love it. I'm all for it. I'm destined to be a husband. That's right. I said it. But we have to be honest with ourselves first, man. You know, and that's the most important part. You know, there's always room to grow. When you stop growing, you become real content, and that's where things happen. You know, this, like you said, this program, this movement has helped me tremendously, not only as a father, but as a man in general. You know, I don't know how. I mean, shaming myself for taking too long to get this thing off the ground. And that's anybody that's watching this and listening. You have a dream, don't just protect it. Go after everything that it takes for you to fulfill that dream.
Amen.
Give yourself a chance. Literally, give yourself a chance the same way you give your kids a chance. All right, and it's okay to say no. You know, it's okay to tell your wife, your mom, whoever, I can't do it today. It's all right. I didn't realize how much I was working. Like, I'm only required to work 3 days a week, literally. For some, but you know, we love the money, and you know, when overtime hits and things of that nature, I didn't realize that in the last 14 days, I worked 10 days out of the week. You know what I'm saying? And it burnt me out. I was so burnt out to the point where on my days off of work, all I did was sleep.
Let's give some context. Mike is in a medical field, so he worked 12-hour shifts. So the average working person is like 10 days and 14 days. That's what we usually do. But my days are 12-hour days. So he's worked 10, 12-hour days in a 14-day time span when he was really only required to do 6. So this is why he was saying that he's burnt out. But go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for clearing that up. And we just have to understand, man, it's okay to take time away from yourself. You know, by you doing that, makes you more effective.
Yep.
It gives you more insight. You know, and you learn things about yourself that you can't learn when you sitting around other people. You know, like I told you before, when we first started this podcast, it's become so therapeutic to the point that we were able to both branch out and not only to do other projects solo, but with our spouses.
Oh yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
That is phenomenal. Like, that's always been a goal, that me and my woman work on something and anything together. You know, you'll see my children on there as well. You know, we have to get to that point where, as men, we support each other and we're not hating on each other in the process.
No one, bro, man. No one wins when a family feuds. One of Jay-Z's famous lines. And
that's dope.
If another thing he says in a verse, for what more can I say? He said, if I say a big verse, I'm only bigging up my brother. So I can spit what Mikey's talking about and what he's preaching and what he's giving because I'm bigging up my brother. I know what he has to bring to the table, man. And I know, like you said, I think the most fun I've had this year is recording with my family and then watching it play back. Like, oh man, I really did that. Because some of these things I'm like, I can't, like, Sky played a prank on me last year, because it's last year, and 2022. And legit, I'm like, I was pissed. But I'm like, yo, man, like, it was, when I think about it, it's like, yo, my kids are growing up, and I'm glad I'm able to record some of these things because I don't want to get to where I'm 60 and I'm filthy rich, but I don't got nothing to show for it. I don't even remember half the stuff that happened. At least I can go back and watch the videos and laugh. Like, I remember this when this happened. Things like that.
Yeah, and create those memories, man. But create them with people you don't want to forget.
Well, oh, that's good. It's a bar.
You feel me?
That's a bar. That's a bar.
I mean, that's what you have to do. You know what I mean? You're gonna have any memories, make them positive ones, man. You know what I mean? You just can't. Going into this year, that's the goal. Like you said, you're gonna bet on yourself, man. I told my woman last night, we were driving to a little get together. I said, I want you to understand how much I love you. I said, our relationship is a poker table. I'm all in. You know what I mean? And you got to understand that dynamic. If you know our history, it ain't common. But we still together. We still rocking strong. At the same time, you have to reassure yourself that this is the best decision you're making. If you don't, it's not going to work out. And that's with anything, from your job to relationship with people, your family. You know what I'm saying? I love the hood is so infamous for saying blood makes you family. You know what I'm saying? Blood don't make you family, loyalty does. That's it's a good statement, but at the same time, your loyalty is expected to it. Everything gotta be a two-way street from now
on. 100%.
In my life, it has to be a two-way street. What value are you bringing to me, and in return, what value am I adding to you? If I don't see the value in it, we'll be friends. It's cool, But for you to become, a brother, a family member, whoever, however way we put it, there has to be a counteraction to what you're asking me for.
I agree.
You have to do that. And if I say no, it's okay. You don't get upset. It's gonna be all right, man. So, but yeah, 2023. The year has come. The year is upon us now. We made it. Expectations, man. What are you looking for? What are you looking to happen in 2023, man?
So we're gonna go into expectations on the next video.
Okay.
All right. So my yearly expectations for me is going to be I'm going to move with change. Two things are going to happen in life. Either either you're going to, can you still see me?
Yep.
There we go. Either you're going to change with the times, or you're going to get ran over, and you're going to have to hold on until you can able to get yourself back to where you need to be. I don't want to do that no more. I don't want life to try to run me over. You know, and the thing is, and life don't have to run you over like for the sense of like running you over, but things will happen. You can stay past that expired time. You know, on Friday, like I'm not going to go into detail, but you know what I've been trying to do for like the past month. And then when I got this phone call on Friday, it wasn't the news at the time that I wanted to hear. The crazy thing about it was it happened in the middle of the workday. So I had to step away from customers, get bad news, and go back and put a smile on my face. So it's like life is going to hit you when you least expect it, right? And it happened. And either you're going to adjust and keep moving, or you're going to sit there and you're going to wallow in sadness, right? And what's crazy is having the right people around you. When I got the bad news, when I got the news, it wasn't bad. When I got the news, I called my wife, and my wife was like, "Yo, it's okay. It's gonna be all right." My daughter, same thing. Mike, same thing. Akeem, same thing. Like it's not a no. It's just a not right now, and it's okay. You gotta get some things in order. For me, man, it's important that I fix my credit. I don't got nothing crazy on there, but I got things on there I could have been fixed already, because I don't want to have to answer to little things. Like I had a little $50 thing on my credit report. I'm like, where the hell is it? Where did this come from? But I don't even know where it came from myself. And when I called, and it was like, yeah, this is awkward. I'm like, all right, can we take care of it? Yeah, let's take care of it. But it's little things like that we brush it off, because I'm pretty sure I could have seen it like a year ago, but I brushed it off thinking it didn't have importance when it did ultimately. So things that I deemed as that didn't have value to me, they have value. So not only am I fixing my credit in life, I'm fixing my credit with people. Meaning that if I wasn't a person that you can call because I wasn't dependable, and that's something I want to change about myself, I'm gonna do it. Because sometimes I can be like, yo, I got your back, and then I could overbook myself because I had something planned already. Now I got to go back and tell you no when you needed me the most. I don't want to do that no more. And it's about accountability. I can admit, a lot of men won't admit this, but in some of my past relationships, I was trash. I was the trash individual. All right. And I wasn't accountable. I didn't care about anybody's feelings. I was selfish. I was self-centered. And now that I know these things about myself, I can either change them, or I can continue down that same path, and I can continue to burn bridges. Because that's another thing that we want to admit. I've burned bridges before. I've done it. I've not been always the person that's been like, yo, people doing me wrong. No, I've done people wrong. All right? I ain't proud of it. I've done people wrong. But I'm man enough to go back and say, listen, I apologize, because at this point in my life, I wasn't who I am now. I didn't have knowledge of who I was. All right. And if I did, I just didn't care enough the way I care now. And for that, I apologize. But I am a better me. And as I'm growing every day, if I can go back and acknowledge that I've done something wrong, it's plenty of times that you can too. So that's what my 2023 is going to be: more love, more life, better credit, better health, and just fixing relationships, man. I miss cookouts. I miss getting together. Like, I spent that time with Akeem last month, and then I seen him a couple of days ago with his wife and his daughter, and he got to see my wife and my kids, because we haven't seen each other in 15 years, and in 15 years, we've all been married. We've all had kids, and none of these wives know each other. So, well, except your ex-wife and my wife, because they're cousins. But like, no one had those. We didn't have those bonds that we thought we were going to have when we were younger. But we were able to come together and have that again, man. That was one of the best birthday gifts I ever had.
Yes. I can definitely agree.
I can't take nothing away from that. It was the 2 days we spent fixing the tire, all that stuff. He got a new tire too, Mike. Fixing the tire, talking to him, and just it was amazing, man. So that's what I'm excited for in 2023. What about you, bro?
Oh, wait, before I say that, I wanna just you said something. You said it before when we had like private conversations, but you said it again, and I want to explain the difference real quick. You said it's not no, it's not right now.
That's right.
That's your mindset. We have to develop that mindset that a no isn't a no. We hear no and we go, oh, they didn't like me. They just said not right now as a proper way to tell me no. That we have to look at things two different ways when situations happen.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's things to help you and develop you. It's never to hurt you. Like, I'm a firm, there's lessons in everything, even heartbreak. You know, and we have to understand that when we hear something, when somebody says no, our next question needs to be, what can I do for next time? What can I do now to become ready later? You know, a no isn't a no in the mindset, in the way we think it is. You know, it's not, like I said, it's not the fact that the no is not never. You know, if we can get into our mind, if we can get into our heads and our hearts that there are things, we still have work to do as individuals when we hear a no. Your follow-up question to yourself, it doesn't always have to be to other people, is what can I do now to prepare for when the time comes? Because we have to understand we're going to make sure I got the words right. Yeah. But we have to understand that when things happen, we have to prepare differently. You know, you lose a game, change your preparation. Like they always say, keep your goal the same, but just change up how you approach it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you never had that before, you have to prepare for it differently. We were talking the other day, and you talking about how long you've been married. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Your preparation year after year after year after year has to change. And just because you're married doesn't mean that other people are not going to find your wife attractive, not going to find you attractive. We have to think that way. It's just going to happen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So your preparation is going to be everything for the no, for the turn down. Whatever the case may be, your mental state has to shift to better yourself for when you hear the news you don't want to hear. Because sometimes that bad news is exactly what propels you for something totally different.
That's good.
Because a no to them might be a yes to somebody else. So, and it's their loss. That's how we look at it. It's their loss. But that was it. You know what I mean? Nonetheless, my 2023, man, my expectations is definitely I want to travel more. You know, towards the end of the year. Towards the end of the year, like you said, you know, we got the opportunity to go to Atlanta, which, like you said, was a phenomenal time. Great, just great laughs, man. Great vibes, great atmosphere. Alone, but Father's Club is my Father's Club. Improving my relationship with my fiance, and you know, building my credit. That's, you know, that would be phenomenal if we could do a podcast on that.
Yeah, I got an idea of somebody we can do the podcast with. I think we should do it before the end of this month as well. Maybe like
I agree.
Not the next one, but maybe the following episode we need to have that. We'll talk offline who I think we should bring on, but we should have that conversation so we can do a podcast on that, because so many people talk about credit, but we need to break it down. Because the funny thing is like if you go to apply somewhere, like if you go to apply for like say you apply for a credit card, and the credit card, if they deny you, most people don't read past the deny you part. They just say, okay, I didn't get it, keep moving. But if you read, if you go down a little further, it'll tell you what your score is, and it'll tell you the things you need to improve on. And it's not necessarily just a permanent no. It's a not right now. Fix these things, spin the block, and when you got these things in order, boom, I'm ready for you.
Yeah,
that's all. That's all it is, man. It's like, yo, I kid you not, I looked at denial in a different mindset because of what I heard on Friday. It wasn't a no. It was simply a not right now.
That's it.
And you know what? And you got to realize that what I realized that, you know, in 2007, if you would have gave me a brand new car, I probably wouldn't have took care of it the way I would take care of a car now, because I was immature and I didn't know much about vehicles.
Oh, man.
My mom didn't have a car. My dad didn't have a car. My grandfather didn't have a car. My aunt didn't have a car. Family members around us did, but they didn't. So it was like I didn't have no one to show me what needed to be done. So when I got Rhodesia, I didn't take care of Rhodesia the right way. And then it goes with relationships. I didn't have many married people around me. So my first marriage, I failed at it. And it was legit a no. Not right now. Because I'm right back in that. I'm married, but not back in that marriage. If that makes sense. Like we're married, but we ain't in the same marriage. Like it ain't the same. Our love is different. My patience is different. And I just want a better understanding of, I know who I am as a man, and I know what my wife wants, and I could either help her and do the things she asks for, or I could be a jerk and then, you know, end up in divorce court. But I got at least another strong 50 with her. So that's the goal.
And people got to understand, your situation with your wife is the same woman that you're married to again.
Yeah, my first marriage, you know like if you watch any of our past episodes, we've talked about it. But yeah, my first marriage, I was trash. And it was things that, is there things that she could have did better? Possibly. But I can't focus on that if I'm not financially taking care of my family, emotionally taking care of my family, spiritually covering her. I've done none of those things in our first marriage. And like, why I wouldn't want my daughter to go through what my wife went through. Despite whether the fact is our testimony, I just wouldn't want her to suffer in that. And it wasn't just that, because I got into a relationship after that, and I dogged that woman out. Got into another relationship after that one, dogged that woman out. And then I had to learn, like, yo, man, like I can't move like this. And when the opportunity presented itself for me to get back with my wife, I was like, yo, whatever I gotta fix, I'm gonna fix, because her love is way more important than my ego.
That's big.
Here we are.
That's
married long time.
That's big. So you got your what is it? Title changes, expectations don't.
You
know, and that don't not to say that they won't change.
No,
though.
expectations change. Titles don't. I'm a husband again. But the expectation for what you want in a marriage is different. And you know what time it is?
There you go.
Listen, men, we all want the same thing from our wives. There's other things that we want, but we also want other things too. All right. And if we ain't doing what she asks us to do, or your spouses, because you know we got listeners that could be the same-sex LGBTQ community. If you want something from your spouse, we all want the same thing, all right? But if your spouse got things that needs to be done, you need to do them. Like one guy, I'm not gonna say his name, but he said, yo man, I always clean when my wife see me clean the bathroom, he know who he is when I talk about this. My wife see me clean the bathroom, like she know what type of energy I'm on. But his wife likes a clean bathroom, so why not do the things that she likes? Because it's in a reward. We always want a reward. We want a reward in heaven, and we want our reward in the bedroom. Praise God.
Amen.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Listen, man. I think this has been an amazing episode, bro.
Oh man, yes.
Thought it was gonna be 20 minutes. I think we have hours to change in right now.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, man.
It's cool, man. But it was a long 2022, man.
Yep, and we got more things to talk about. So if you guys wanna hit us up or you want to talk about some things, let us know. And this year we're gonna bring you on the show. You want to get on the show with us? Make sure you have uninterrupted time. All right, because can't put you on the show and then you gotta leave. All right. And number 2, try your best not to curse on these episodes. All right, like we have a wide variety. Like my wife, grandma watched this show. She's 84. She can't be up here watching F-bombs drop every 5 minutes. Like, I don't want to explain that to grandma because that's exactly what she do. Like, why was y'all cursing on that episode? Why you talking about my granddaughter butt? Like, we married. What you do, grandma? So we got some criteria that we got to follow when you come on the show. But man, we want to see you guys. We want to interact with you guys. So hit us up on our social media platforms. On my Facebook, I'm Tyreek Hampton. On Instagram, I'm Scoop_Hampton. I have my Twitter by the next episode. Hit me up on LinkedIn if you're trying to give me a job of 6 figures. What about you, Mike?
Follow me on Facebook, Michael Drake. You can TikTok. It's Father's Club. That's the name right there.
I gotta do more TikToks too. You right.
It's just Father's Club. You can follow me on Instagram, Humble Beast 87. That's right. And I will definitely look forward to seeing you. Understand, if you become a guest on the show, you don't have to do the whole time. We give you 10 minutes. We appreciate you and thank you for your time, and that's it. We understand that. I'm a father of 5, so I understand that your window is very small.
Yeah, that's like if you see us keep looking down, because it's like life is happening
I had to sneak away. Okay? So I had to sneak away. I'm sitting in my car. Right?
I'm in the bathroom. Okay. I'm currently in the bathroom. The lighting is pretty good too. That's on swipe because the fan ain't on. I don't want it to be loud in the video.
So yes. February, I'm looking to have relationship episodes. All right. I'm looking to have relationship episodes, not only on this channel here, but also on our private channels. Let's get back to love, people. Like I said, I love relationships. You know what I'm saying? It's very important that we learn how to do it the right way. One time doesn't mean it's over. It's just a choice to make to stay connected. All right. So look forward to seeing you guys soon. All right. If you want to be hit our Instagram, hit our social media for anything and everything. For next
comment below. Comment, but let us know, man. We're looking for sponsors. If you want to support, we do support all small business, not just Black. We support all small business. If you want us to talk about your stuff on our shows, hit us up on our social media platforms, and we'll send us the merch or whatever you want us to show. We're glad to show it on. Support us, and we support you. That's how we want to do it. And then and we're also looking for sponsors. All right, what am I talking about? Your products. Doesn't matter how far, what it is. We just, whatever you got, you want us to show our people, by all means, hit us up. But we thank you for your time. Thank you for taking this hour out of your busy day just to listen to us or watch us if you're watching on YouTube. And just look forward to more content from myself, from Mike, from my family, his family, and from my family to yours. Happy New Year. God bless.
Yes. Happy New Year.
And I'm wishing you nothing but a healthy year, more money, more growing, more glowing. All right?
Ooh, I like that.
I've been Tyreek.
Off the dome. It's your boy, Mike Drake, man. Oh, Michael Drake. I'm sorry. Look at me. That's crazy.
All right, y'all. Take it easy.
All right. Peace.